Hello guys, welcome to my channel Lucid Fanfic, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. So be sure to stick around until the end, and let's get started. Midoriya, I love you. Izuku, in a panic state, is currently screaming inside his head. Huh, what? He looked around, looking for anybody inside on the roof of the school. Izuku calm down, deep breaths. There's a girl standing in front of you, and she said she loves you. Oh God, she loves me. It isn't a prank, right? Or she must have gotten the wrong guy who would date a quirkless. The girl took notice of Izuku's nervous, freaked-out reaction. I am Sato Matsuzaka. She said, what do you say? I like you, and I want to date you. Ah, sorry. That sounded way forward. Her expression remained calm like a puppet. No, it's okay. Izuku nodded and reassured her with a kind smile. What do I say? Reject her? She looks nice and sweet. I've never talked to a girl before. If I do accept what I do, I gotta say something quickly. The girl waited for a response. She held her shoulder close to her body and swiped her hair behind her ear. Her pink eyes made Izuku sweat and blush even deeper. I am so sorry. I can't date you. Izuku shut his eyes and took a deep breath. Yes, Izuku's face and entire body steamed up with the realization. What have I done? I was supposed to reject her kindly. I can't take this back, that would be mean. I am a man, she shouldn't be hurt by my mistake, so I should take responsibility. She smiled at Izuku before walking closer to him. Great, I am really glad we could do this. How about a park date? Izuku faced back up with a blush. Oh, okay, sounds great, haha. Izuku questions why he is laughing right now. How is this happening? Damn it, not being a flustered mess, she probably thinks I am weird. She smiled and giggled, causing Izuku to blush even more. Sunday, afternoon sharp. Oh, Sato pulled out her cell phone. Your number. She's cute. Sato waited as Izuku stared at her. Number, right. He types his number and gives her pink cell phone back. Here you go. Thanks, she said sweetly. I'll call you. Okay, Midoriya. Izuku tried to respond, only for his words to get stuck in his throat. Sato walks past him as a strawberry scent fills his nose. He stands there, hearing her leave. Oh, I got a date. Izuku's face stared blankly at the sky. Time to search up a tutorial. Because how do I talk to a girl? In our current society, heroes exist, and villains, those who use their power for chaos and havoc. Izuku dreamed of being a hero, seeing his number one hero save people with a fearless smile. So cool. The two best friends shared the same dream. Deku, what makes you think a quirkless loser like you could be a hero? Kakin, I am quirkless, I know that. But that doesn't mean I should give up. If All Might were here, he would say, you can do it. Sunday, afternoon sharp. All right, she said, afternoon sharp. Did I get here too early? Izuku stood beside a tree muttering and barbering in whispers. Izuku? Sato called out, but Izuku didn't notice her. She tilted her head and laughed, and Izuku's eyes widened as he quickly turned to face her. Sorry, I hope you weren't waiting for so long. Oh no, whenever I get nervous, I tend to think, and when I think too much, I start muttering, oh my gosh, you're cute. Sato placed her hand near her mouth. Oh, thank you, you look great yourself. I hope I am not making you nervous. Izuku frantically moves his hands before rubbing the back of his neck. But you aren't making me nervous at all. I really well happy and shocked since a pretty girl like yourself asked me out. Izuku covered his face with embarrassment. I did again. Sato was caught off guard. Her cheeks felt hot with a reddish blush. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just being honest. Okay, be yourself. She asked you out because she wants to know me. They walked and talked and got to know each other. Stared at the pot of fishes. Izuku got to know Sato Matsuzaka. Sato is known as the pretty girl in the of Aldera Junior High, though Izuku had zero clue nor idea about that part. All he knew was she was a student in the same middle school, despite Izuku never being able to truly catch a glance due of her, due to Sato's popularity among her classmates. She's social, outgoing, everything that Izuku does not have nor can do. They were different, and Izuku was quite ashamed to admit to her that the only friend he has was his two best friends, Bakugo and Yuno. After the walk, they visited the mall and headed towards the arcade area. Izuku offered to pay, but Sato declined Izuku's offer but was grateful for it. He noticed Sato's cute smile when he offered. Her face, eyes, and gesture made Izuku's heart felt like if a string was tied onto it, and someone had vigorously tugged that string. What seemed like 50 tries, Izuku won a teddy bear that held a heart that said love you. Sato gazed deeply at the pink bear with tender eyes. Izuku assumed that she liked the gift. Seeing her react that way made Izuku happy. She likes the gift. What matters is that Sato is having fun. Izuku observed Sato with an affectionate stare. Thank you, Izuku. Its cute Sato's smile made Izuku a steaming mess. She has a cute smile, my heart. Once they left the arcade area, Izuku turned back. What's wrong? Izuku? Sato asked, looking at Izuku direction of Izuku. Nothing. Sorry, got distracted. Izuku walked beside Sato. The two walked out the mall and walked on the alleyway of houses. As they walked, Izuku felt a sensational warmth, soothing on his hand. Sato's hand was enveloped with Izuku's hand as his eyes narrowed down to his hand. Oh, what's she holding? My hand. Sato is holding my hand. If it's okay. Her sweet, loving eyes made Izuku nod at the speed of light. Yes, you can hold my hand anytime. I don't mind. Izuku smiles nervously. Sato turns her head away from Izuku, eyes widened with reddening face. You're different, Sato muttered. Izuku looked at Sato, his around Sato, but not touching her. Nothing. Sato smiled, feeling flustered. It's nothing. She lets go of Izuku's hand and leans in front of him. Catching Izuku off guard, her pink eyes made Izuku's head spin. Sato, Izuku whispers. Sato gives him a pleasurable smile. It felt different from the other expressions she'd given him. More like she's enjoying herself for the first time. Izuku was taken aback. She looked so happy. Was I really that fun? I might have accidentally talked about Heroes and All Might a few times, and ended up over mumbling. She's probably going to say that it isn't going to work out. I am prepared to hear. Izuku. She hugged Izuku tightly. Her chest pressing against his made him nearly faint. I had a lot of fun. The bear you've given me I'll treasure. I'll text you later. Sato lips pressed against Izuku's cheek. Smooch. She walked back and gave Izuku a sweet, tender smile. Kiss? I didn't know you kissed on the first date? That's what it means. I am doing something right. Right? Izuku waved bye to Sato as she faded into the street. Sato walked down the street. Sato's heart was pumping faster than usual, her face redder than usual. I don't know, I feel so sweet. So alive. Sato giggled happily. That was real love. It has to be. Izuku, the kindest boy I've ever met. Kind and sweet. His smile makes my problems go away in an instant. She held the pink bear close to her chest, hugging it. I didn't know what warmth felt like. What kindness was. More than anything else, I couldn't understand what love was. But Izuku, he took his smile, his kindness, and expressed them to me. He showed me he cared for me. He showed me what love is. Sato gave the bear a tender gaze. I love him. I love that boy Izuku Midoriya so much. He's what I needed in my life. He's my happy sugar life. Back at Midoriya's apartment, Izuku Inko cried, embracing Izuku into a hug. Rivers of tears nearly flooded their apartment. Mom, I am okay. I just had to walk a girl home. A girl? Inko gasped. My baby boy is talking to a girl? Isn't it your friend? You know. Izuku nodded quietly. No, it's another girl I met. Izuku paused and analyzed his mother's reaction. Mom, wait, she's a FR friend from school. We went to study, and before we knew it, it was getting dark. Izuku, you've made a new friend. Inko smiled. Yeah, Mom. No girlfriend? Inko had to check. No girlfriend, Mom. Izuku nodded intensely. Izuku, being the good child, he hugged his mom and headed off to bed. Okay, you kids are young, so I don't want grandbabies. Izuku blushed. Night-night, Mom, he said with a hint of embarrassment in his tone. As Izuku went to bed, Inko's face lifted into a gloomy expression as an apparition of little Izuku, in an all-might pajama theme, eyeballed at her, with the energetic smile, happily looking at her. My baby boy is growing so fast. Izuku bedroom. Izuku laid in bed and saw he'd gotten a text from Sato. Candy Girl Sato. Thank you for the date, Izuku. I had a lot of fun. The bear you got me is cute, and I love it. Deku. Haha, sorry, I couldn't win you other prizes. Candy Girl Sato. Don't be. Izuku, I really love you. So, if you're okay, do you mind if I hang around you during school? Deku. People might think that we are a couple. I mean, I don't mind being a couple. What if people say something about you because you're with me? Candy Girl Sato. Darling, I don't care what others think of us. My eyes are only fixated on you. Candy Girl Sato. Izuku, you're so sweet. You know that. I love how you worry about me. I'll be okay. I never cared for my popularity at school. People only see me as pretty or easy to get. But you see me as Sato Matsuzaka. That's what I love about you, my sunshine. Deku arg. Deku, sorry. My phone fell on my face. Deku. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, Sato. Night night, Sato. Candy girl Sato. Love you, darling, sweet dreams. Izuku placed his phone on the counter. I should say I love you back. Wait a second. So, does this mean Sato is my girlfriend? Yankowers, I don't know, it feels wrong not to say it back. She called me darling. Holy, she called me darling? Is that a good thing? Sent. 1 hour later, Deku. Love you. Sent. 1 millisecond after, Candy girl Sato. Heart emoji. Izuku was so nervous, he said it in all caps. Next day, early in the morning. Izuku shuffled and moved slightly cozily in his bed. Izuku wake up, a pink-haired shuffles a bedsheet. Izuku mama Inko made breakfast, let's eat. Izuku got up shirtless? Blushed at his regular skinny body. Put on a shirt, Peverturd, I'll wait for you downstairs. Left Izuku's room. Sorry, he shouted, it's a habit. Oh, that's right, I couldn't hang out with yesterday, because I hope she isn't mad. I had to cancel our plans yesterday. Izuku got dressed, headed into the bathroom, ate, and headed out with beside him. Izuku and rushed, stepping on a puddle. She points at a group of people. The sound of a blast, a crash, causes Izuku to look in the direction with right beside him. Sorry, Izuku said, mushed by the crowd. He and moved through the crowd. Izuku, look, a villain attack. Smiled. Whoa, where's the hero? Izuku questioned. Out of nowhere, branches of wood appear, holding the villain. The scene played out like a movie as the crowded watch as a giant villain causes rampage on a pair of train tracks, being stopped by Kamui Woods. So cool. Izuku pulls out his notebook and begins scribbling. He uses his wood quirk to restrain the giant villain, but is that going to be enough? This is what I want to be. I want to show people that those villains won't cause any harm to anybody, but I wonder, this villain feels out of the ordinary. He's more enraged, out of control. Izuku, we're going to be late. Yeah, almost done. Izuku excitedly scribbled on his notebook. Kamui Woods was about to use his special move, the crowded out hyped. POW. Out comes MT Lady with a kick as she kicks the villain unconscious. A guy within the crowd smiles at the young Izuku. So kid, you're trying to be a hero, the man smirked, trying to flex his muscles like a hero. Why yeah? Well then I wish you the best of luck, he smiles, giving Izuku a thumbs up and a wink with a star. Izuku's eyebrows rose and returned a grin. Yeah, I will. Izuku smiled brightly before being dragged by this close. The world wanted to see my Kamui Woods special move, Kamui said, punching air in defeat. My moment to shine gone. Right before Kamui displayed his special move, MT Lady showed up and knocked out the villain at that moment. Sure, of course, nothing beats wood over a giant woman, MT Lady says, giving the crowd a wink as all the men within the crowd grow hard eyes. MT Lady wasn't sorry one bit for Kamui Woods as she got all the attention. MT Lady shrugged. We found this metal syringe pierced on this man's back. All thanks to me, she winked again. Kamui gazes at the villain who's knocked out. Illegal use of abilities during rush hour and rampaging, destroying city property, as well as robbery and assault. This guy is pure evil. Indeed would guy. Kamui Woods. M.T nodded with a grin. But at the end of the day, it really isn't our business. We're just here to save the day, oh haha. Back at Aldera Junior High. Now before lunch starts, I must say this. The teacher smiled, looking at his classroom, filled with teens using their abilities and quirk. The paper in his hands now flew everywhere in the room. You are all going to be heroes editing at UDA's entrance exam, the teacher smiled breathlessly. The whole class celebrated with joy as they all began to use their quirks in class. Yay, one boy said, whose eyes can stretch out of their sockets. Here, that said a pikey sandy blonde hair boy, as he stood aggressively on his desk. You losers aren't even going to make it. I am going to be number one. Not cool, Bakugo, said a male student. Shut, losers, Bakugo barked as he began to use his quirk. Well, I have high hopes for you, Bakugo, the teacher said. Izuku was shitting bricks, praying that he didn't mention him. Because if the teacher did. So the teacher stared off. No, don't do it. It seems like Midoriya is going to a high as well. Huh, the quirkless kid? Why? I wasn't the only student who never slept in your class. Izuku internally screamed as he buried his face on his desk. Bakugo began fuming fire. Izuku could already feel Bakugo rage, and blood pressure rising. Deku, you nerd, he blows up Izuku's desk, causing Izuku to fall out of his chair and back towards the wall. Wait, Kaken. Izuku was sitting on the floor, back pressed against the wall. He moved his hands up with fear. I. Don't I me, you pirate. Bakugo uses his quirk, intimating Izuku. Izuku's fearful eyes stare at Bakugo palm. What makes a shitty nerd think he could sign? Up, I told you you're quirkless. The crowd inside the classroom laughed at Izuku. Don't cry, Izuku, you better than that. Even if he himself that, it did stop the pain, as he listens to his classmates spout hateful words. Losser. Quirkless. Worthless. How quirkless is a quirkless going to be a hero? Ha. You'll just die anyway. Weak loser. Deku. The words got louder and louder, as Izuku bit his lip and endured every second of their abhorrent, disgusting, hateful, repulsive insults. Every word hurts. Like a punch to the gut, or a kick to the Gentiles. It hurt to an extent that Izuku's eyes felt sore from holding back his tears. If he were to cry, things will only worsen from there. Don't cry. Don't cry. Man up. It's not true that what they're saying isn't true. All right. That's enough, Bakugo. Everybody sit down. Once the bell rings, you may all enjoy your lunch. Hey nerd, what cha got there? Bakugo smirked as he clutched Izuku's notebook from his backpack. Hero analysis for the future? Geez, like that's gonna be useful. Kaken, give that back. Izuku tried to reach, nearly getting a hold of his notebook. Bakugo pushes Izuku back as he holds onto the desk for support. Want it back, Deku? Fine. Really that? Boom. Izuku watches with an unpleasant, dreadful expression as his years and months of meaningful scribbles gone. The dread in Izuku's eyes was nearly the final straw. Droplets of tears slowly began to emerge. Before Izuku could react, Bakugo threw his notebook out the window. Izuku was confused and looked at Bakugo. But how so? As Izuku's eyes darken and his ears endlessly repeat Bakugo words. How foolish of Izuku. How foolish. For a second he had faith in Bakugo. That he listened. He truly believed his best friend was going to help him. If you think you'll have a quirk in your next life, go take a swan dive off the roof and pray that in your next life you'll get a quirk. Izuku faces the window with despair in his eyes. For once he felt destroyed, like a hero fighting his villain. That hero, despite doing everything in his power to save people, lost, and that's how Izuku felt. He turned around angrily as Bakugo aggressively grins at Izuku, causing him to stiffen in place. That's what I thought, you nerd. Bakugo places his hand on Izuku's shoulder and activates his quirk, ruining Izuku's uniform from the shoulder. As a small smoke fumes from Izuku's shoulders. Bakugo and his friends had left the classroom and Izuku just let it out. He cried. He accepted defeat. He accepted that nobody believed him. He got on his knees with his backpack and held it tightly, with his arms slightly shaking. Izuku's throat ached and his jaw felt unsteady. I won't give up until I see it for myself. I don't want to give up because of someone, even if they hurt me. I won't know until I try, but it still hurts. Without anybody believing in you, it still hurts. The door opened. Izuku Sato rushed towards Izuku and cupped his face. What's wrong? Talk to me. Who did this? Are you hurt? Sato immediately embraced Izuku with a powerful hug, petting his soft hair with her hands gently as Izuku's head rested on Sato's shoulder. Izuku opens his mouth, nothing, only stutters. Shoo, it's all okay, everything's okay. Sato said, biting her lip as feeling bitter. Your girlfriend is here. I am here. Is this about being quirkless? Izuku nodded his head. Izuku, stop crying, damn it. Sato glared forward angrily, but her tone sounded so sweet to Izuku's ears that he didn't notice the fact that she's enraged. Everybody knows that Izuku is quirkless, so it wasn't a surprise to Sato. Don't be ashamed that you don't have something that everybody does. I still love you either way, with or without a quirk, it doesn't matter. Sato smiles and wipes Izuku's tears. After gaining Izuku to calm down, they both ate at the school rooftop. The rooftop itself is always empty. Not many people really go up there. It's nice, silent, and the view of the sky looks great from here. Izuku? Izuku looked up, eating a lunchbox that Sato made. The fresh and hot smell of the fish, rice, and meat. Izuku was practically swallowing rather than chewing down the food. What happened? Sato eyes worried for love. Her sugar life. Izuku. Oh, nothing, they were cracking jokes, haha. Jokes that made you cry? Darling, Be honest with me, I am your girlfriend after all. If they're threatening you. No, Izuku scratched the back of his neck. Kaken would never hurt me like that. He's my best friend. My two friends that I've got. Like me, Kaken is a big All Might fan, which is how we got along when we were kids. Of course, our moms even knew each other as well. Inko Midoriya, Sato thought. Her quirk, I wonder what it is. But even so, it really pisses me off to see my sugar plum in such a state of sadness, best friend or not. I won't let this slide. That's interesting, darling. Sato placed a finger on her bottom lip. If you don't mind me asking, who's the other? Izuku's eyes lit up. Sato saw the light in his eyes brighten. Why? Door opens intensely. The door opens, letting out a bang, hitting itself against the wall. A pink-haired girl. Unlike Sato, whose hair had two buns, Yuno's hair is lengthy, with an incountenance appearance. Once Yuno spots Izuku, she rushes towards him and grabs his shoulders, infuriating Sato, while keeping a deceiving, surprised face. I found your notebook, huh? Yuno stops and stares at the girl sitting in front of Izuku. Who are you? Yuno glared, seeming unhappy to see Sato. Who does this beach think? Breathing beside my darling. It's a lie, lies, he's mine. Any girl that even thinks about him, I'll kill them. Yuno handed the notebook to Izuku, while keeping eye contact with Sato. Sato arrogantly smiled. Yuno's stomach twisted, wishing she could just stab the shit out of right now and throw her body off the rooftop. Sato Matsuzaka, Izuku's girlfriend. Sato and Yuno glared at each other with a hidden intent, anger. But Izuku didn't notice. He was happy to have his notebook back, burnt sadly, but happy to see it still intact. Sato Matsuzaka, I am Yuno Gashi, Izuku's best friend. Sato had a hunch. This girl. Yuno's eyes descended at Sato. Aha, this beach, she's as crazy as me. Izuku smiled so cluelessly at the situation he was in. The two, Sato and Yuno, glare at each other's looks. Deadly looks. Their eyes shout at each other. Get too close, and you're dead. Best friend. That's great. I'm glad you get along with my love well. I hope you don't mind me spending more time with my love, Izuku. More than usual. Yuno's eyes expressed gleefulness. Well, I hope we get to know each other as well. Sure. Any friends of Izuku are friends of mine. Izuku sighed, curse it. What's wrong? Izuku/Izuki? Sato and Yuno said at the same time. My notebook. Izuku places it in his backpack. Haha, thanks Yuno. I am glad you got it back. Anytime, Izuki. Yuno smiles. Sato studies Yuno's kind and innocent, a charmful smile. I can tell. That girl is in love. She loves my darling. But she's like me. She's a dirty trickster, a deceiver. She's hiding something. A truth in my darling. Izuku doesn't know about it. And he mustn't. He could never know about mine, never. I can tell this girl, Yuno Gashi, is a dangerous one. Sato and Yuno glared at each other. Those bullies, Bakugo and his little crappy henchman, isn't getting away from this, and I'll make him pay. Before they could chat furthermore, the bell had rung. Ah, shame. Sato, I was starting to like you. Yuno grinned with anger. Me too. Sato smirked, calm and collected. Me too. Glad you guys are getting along. Yes, darling. Sato hugged Izuku's arm. Her melons pressed against Izuku's arm. I had fun today. Glad you enjoyed my bento. I made it with lots and lots of love. Yuno smiled. But on the inside, she was fuming, internally shouting and screaming. Her desire to kill Sato got even stronger. No, my poor Izuku, you're being deceived, but don't worry. I could never be mad at you. It isn't your fault. I'll get rid of this girl. And then, we'll get married, and I'll kill every woman you encounter, and you'll be mine. End of school. Oh, Sato and Yuno can't walk with me. Izuku got a message from the two. Something came up. Sorry, love, I'll text you later. Love you. While Yuno said the same thing without the love or love you part. But, Yuno texted Izuku, telling him to be careful. Yuno and Sato seem to get along. Izuku recalls the words Bakugo told him. Idiot, if I did that you'd be in deep shit. What's done is done. I am not stopping, not until I see it for myself. I'm not an idiot, you know. I know it, but I put myself to shame if I don't try. Izuku walks bravely under a bridge, laughing like All Might, and being the optimistic boy he is, walks it off. He brushes off what Bakugo had told, and lifts his head high unknowing to Izuku. A monster, with his evil wide grin, it erupts out of the sewer and appears behind Izuku. Perfect, just what I need. You make the perfect meat suit. Izuku turns around being faced with a villain, a sludge monster. Izuku looks at the villain. Villain. Izuku's mind goes blank as he tries to make a run for it. Haha, don't struggle, says the sludge villain, who envelopes and begins to suffocate Izuku. I can't escape, I can't, is this really it? I can't grip this sludge guy air, I am running out of air. Izuku's eyes began to fall into a hazy blur. His struggles become weak. I found you, let that young man go. Before the sludge could react, the hero, the number one hero, All Might, says the words Izuku recognized. One of All Might's moves. Detroit Smash. Just like that. Izuku was freed from the villain. Before fully passing, Izuku caught the glimpse of his idol. All Might. Hello. Boy, wake up. Who's slapping my face? Opening his eyes, there stood in front of him. Hey, All Might. Izuku was like a child opening his first gift at a birthday party. He grabbed his notebook, only to find it signed my All Might. Thanks, All Might. Stop being accidented, but only crap? All Might in the flesh, come on, he's right here. The man himself is right here. If I don't ask him now, I'll never know. It could have been for nothing. Hey all, I've got to go. This great chatting with a young fan. So hi All Might poured, Strange. I feel like something is on the leg. Huh. Kid, what are you doing? Let go? I can't, I'll die if I let Gio. Izuku managed to speak as the wind nearly ripped his face right off. Oh right. They landed on top of a building. Izuku stood before All Might. He couldn't believe it. The man himself was there, and Izuku had to ask him. All Might, there's something I've always wanted to ask ever since I was kid. All Might. Poof. Izuku looked around with his hand on his head. Where did he go? You're not All Might, he's big, very buff skeleton? The man sighed. Yeah, kid, you're looking at the number one hero. No way, you're a fake. The real All Might wouldn't be so skinny. Where he could have gone. Izuku looked at the man. You really are him. Skinny Might sighed. Don't go telling your friends or the internet about this. All Might lifted up his shirt, making Izuku's eyes widen, seeing the skinny, bony man gouge injury. What happened? Could it be that villain? Izuku was reminded of the video he would watch as a kid. That's right, kid. All Might said, looking at his wound. Because of that, I could only do hero work for 3 hours. Is it possible? For a quirkless kid like me to be like you? Izuku's eyes sparked and blazed with ambition. It was now or never. He clenched his backpack. Can I be a hero? Izuku closed his eyes and waited for All Might response. Sorry, kid. All Might got up, leaving Izuku in a state of shock. Without a quirk is asking yourself to be killed. I cannot simply say, you can become a hero even without power. With that, All Might left the rooftop. Yeah, without a quirk I can't become a hero. How dumb of me. Izuku comes with the terms of All Might's words. Making his way down the stairs and onto the sidewalk, he wonders. Bakugo advice, sounds I am starting to consider it. Izuku shook his head. No, keep your head up high. The sudden sound of an explosion attracts Izuku. Explosion? Flashbacks play in Izuku's head. All Might. The bottle must have fallen when I clinged onto him. What? This is my fault. Izuku rushes towards the scene in a terror-stricken state. The crowd of people watched in horror as the heroes tried to resume the hostages. I heard 3 high school students are there, says someone from the crowd. 3. Those explosions. Izuku watches more closely as he notices the sludge monster from before. I recognize that quirk anywhere, Kaken? Oh my gosh, there are more. Spoke to someone from the crowd. Izuku covers his mouth, disturbed. Sato, why you know why I thought they went home. Izuku's breathing becomes thick. His heart beats faster than usual. When Izuku saw Bakugo's expression, his body bolted straight into the fire as heroes scream at Izuku. Get back, it's dangerous. Izuku ignored every danger in his way. I need to save them. Izuku analyzes his surroundings. Fire burst from the left and right. Cars abandoned and burning? This could work. Izuku had an idea. Once Izuku found a car with the door open, the car being damaged, managed to grab the hot car door and with his skinny arms pulled it right off easily. Hot. This could be my shield. The car had taken damage to such an extent that I was able to rip the door out of the car. This villain is made of liquid ooze, which means its attack could be quick. Relax. Rilks, remember your notes. Be calm. Izuku tossed the car door in front of him and spun. In the process, he tossed the backpack at the villain. The people watch with corners in their eyes. They thought, this kid is crazy, he's going to die? It's over for this kid. The heroes won't be able to save him in time. Izuku releases his battle cry arg as Izuku's backpack files, and his notebook pokes the sludge pervert monster villain. ARH the hentai monster shouts, Sato? Bakugo, I'll get you out of there, I promise. Izuku's voice shaken, attempting to grip and tear the sludge, but it wasn't enough as his hands only slipped through. Counterattack, what's the point of trying to save them if I'll die? Darling, Sato shouted, Ru. The monster pulled back a slug attack right before Izuku grabbed the car door and hid behind it. BM boom. Young man? All Might cough, damn it. Move. Toshinori, All Might arms began to puff into muscles. Steam began to emerge from Skinny Might. Watching Izuku made Toshinori realize something. I really am pathetic. Even though I admonished you, I wasn't putting what I said into practice, that you young man. Back to Izuku. He laid on the ground, the car door that he used as a shield, destroyed beyond use. Izuku's body ached. But it wasn't bad. Izuku had scratches on the side of his head due to the impact of the attack. Mirror small scratches. Izuku ran only for his legs to fall. Catching himself onto the floor, Izuku's body refused to move. He was sweating and feeling weak. His body aches, and he didn't know why. He wasn't injured, so he steadied himself to get up again. But his body refused. Izuku's skinny body couldn't handle such an extreme situation. Get up, come on, stop being scared, stop being scared. Izuku, breath perturbed, unsettled, and sweating from the fires around the area. Sato watched in terror, suffocating within the sludge, struggling as much as she could. She couldn't watch this. Seeing Izuku in such a state, Sato witnessing Izuku trying to save her was agonizing, heart-wrenching to watch. Yuno's shouts were muffled by the sludge villain. Yuno was enraged. Her attempts to break free were futile, useless. The three watched, their eyes scandalized, believing this was it, as a sludge villain releases another attack. Thuds. You young man, have guts. All Might. Izuku shouted. The terror in his body was replaced with joy. All Might saved Izuku at the last minute. The crowd shouted and screamed in surprise, seeing All Might in the scene. Haha, All Might laughed as he threw a straight punch, Detroit Smash. The attack blew the villain into small sludge pieces. Hey, once someone in the crowd. The sky darkened slightly, and droplets began to pour from the sky. All Might change the weather? Yelled the crowd. On that day, Bakugo received praise from the heroes, while Izuku got chewed out. Shut up, if you were good, heroes would have helped and not stand like dumbass. My darlings, wasn't at fault, you are. AHS Sato. Izuku tried to calm down his girlfriend. Really, it's okay. No, Yuno butted in, glaring intensely at the heroes. Darlin' Air Izuki wouldn't be hurt. Sato held Izuku by the head, towards her chest, eyes filled with tears. What could have I done if something dreadful had happened? Truly, thank you, my love. Izuku spoke in muffins. Izuku's got a pair of those on his face that day. Izuku walked home that day, glad that ended peacefully. Izuku sighed. Suddenly, a wild Bakugo appears. Hey DKU. Izuku internally sighed. Yeah? I am not saying thank you or anything, you hear that, nerd? Bakugo walks off, giving Izuku some peace. A thanks or thank you would have been nice, It's the effort that counts. Izuku chuckled, laughing at the idea of Bakugo saying thank you. I found you. HHHO All Might. What brings you here, and how did you find me? Don't worry about that. What you did today was very brave. PFFFTT. HHH, are you okay? Skinny Might gave Izuku a thumbs up. Yes. But young man, that you did there was reckless. Yeah. Hero, when I saw you rush in there, you remind me of someone who'd I forgot about. Myself. All Might gazed at the sky. I really am pathetic. Even though I admonished you, I wasn't putting what I said into practice. Pros are always risking their lives. Just like what you did, young Midoriya. I knew you were the right choice. Me? Right choice. For my quirk. One for all. And I choose you, young man. All Might buffins. As my sucker poof. Skinny Might spit blood, transforming back. I was once like you. Quirkless. Quirkless All Might. Izuku didn't know how to feel, nor think. Giving a quirk? Izuku questions if a quirk like that even exists. What do you say, young man? Yet clenching his backpack between tears and sobs, Izuku bawls, yes, I want to be the world's greatest hero. Great. Skinny Might lift a figure. Starting tomorrow, we're going to train that fragile body of yours, the moment after school, until sundown. T-train. The thought of training didn't sound bad until Skinny might method from after school until sundown. Poof. We start tomorrow. If a path is too easy, then you're on the wrong path. A cartoon character with a straw hat once said that. Izuku stood up and shouted, "Bring it on." "Attaboy, I like the enthusiasm because you're gonna need it, ha ha ha." Izuku nodded and bowed. "Thank you, I promise you won't regret this." Unknown to Izuku and All Might, two curtain pink-haired girls watched the two, secreted behind a tall trash can. They heard everything. The very next day, at Izuku's middle school, All Might is going to train me. Wow, this feels like a fever dream, Izuku thought, walking out of the male restroom. I wonder he asked me why I truly need to work out? Is the quirk that powerful? No, I don't care about how powerful it is, but I feel like heroes underestimate their quirks. Quirks are powerful if the user knows how to handle and use them, like the Underground Pro Hero Eraser had such an awesome quirk. It may not be like All Might's quirk, but in its own way, being able to cancel villains' quirks render them harmless. Ah, so cool. Sparkles. The cries and begs, sobbing, catches Izuku's attention, making him stop. I wait, Izuku. You're getting ahead of yourself. I'm quirkless. But, turning the corner, Izuku sees three boys pulling and pouring water on a girl. Her hair long with a purple color and shade. She wore a nurse outfit with bandages around her left and arms. Please, she hicks between her pleads. Ow, it hurts. Shut up, you pig bully. One shouts at the defenseless girl, causing her to tense up with fear. Her pupils widen with such fear Izuku couldn't tell if this girl was being bullied or assaulted. Either way, Izuku wasn't having it with the three guys. Hey, Izuku raised his voice. Stop it, what you're doing isn't cool. Huh, quirkless boy? Boy 2 laughed. The hell are you going to do? You don't even have a quirk? Izuku pulled back his sleeve and glared at the three boys. Back off. Leave, that you're doing is messed up. What? Bully 3 was taken back. Did the nerds say FD? Yeah. Bully 2 said. I already called a teacher and told them. Izuku gave them a smirk before facing the other direction. Told them what? I don't know. That you're assaulting a female student. Foo snitch, yelled the group of boys as they let go of the defenseless girl's hair. Sensei. Once Izuku turned around, the group of bullies were gone. It worked. I just sprouted random stuff. Izuku chucked, releasing a gentle smile that the bullied girl noticed. Then thank you, the girl bowed. So sorry, I didn't mean to. Mean to what? Izuku crouched down. Haha, that I said early was just nonsense. Literally. I just wanted them to stop hurting you. The girl blushed and looked away. You shouldn't have. Izuku was taken back from her response. Why? I am ugly and I deserve to die. Nobody deserves to die. Izuku held her shoulders out of reaction. It doesn't matter if you're popular or not. If nobody says you should live, then I want you to live. What are you saying? Izuku gave her an All Might expressive smile. The truth. I find your life valuable, so if you ever need a friend, come to me, I'll be there. Izuku looked at Mikan, seeing that her face turned completely bright red, her eyes spiral, and is sweating heavily. Are you okay, Mikan? Mikan covers her face as she gets up. So, sorry for existing, she bows apologetically. Hey, you're okay? Why yes. You're okay, Izuku asks, sounding more concerned. Mikan Tsumiki. Izuku gives Mikan a safe, reassuring smile. Izuku Midoriya, see, you're okay. Matter of fact, I understand how you feel. Huh, you do understand? I was bullied because I am different, something out of my control. We're one of a kind, right? One of a kind? Me, I am nobody. No, huh? You are somebody. You are Mikan Tsumiki, the world's amazing nurse. While I do help with people's injuries in the school infirmary from time to time. Mikan started to blush. You don't need to pity me if you want my body. What? I am trying to bright your spirit, Izuku shouts frankly with a burning hot face. Huh, really? I am sorry. Izuku scratched his head. No, don't apologize. You did nothing wrong, Mikan. Anyway, I had to head back to class, but you can find me at the rooftop of the school. That's where I usually hang out with my girlfriend. As Izuku waved bye to Mikan and turned his back, he grabbed the back of his uniform. Girlfriend? Mikan blushed in surprise. Oh well, if it's okay, nobody had talked to me in a really long time. Mikan stammered through her words. Fidgeting her fingers, Izuku couldn't tell if she was nervous or scared. She looked at Izuku and gave him an awkward but sweet smile. I would like to talk to you again. So thank you very much. Haha, Izuku chuckled. No problem, Mikon. Be by Mikon smiled. She looks like some who haven't smiled for a really long time. Izuku's heart ached knowing that this sweet girl isn't like just because of her personality. It hurt and pissed Izuku off. Izuku mumbled. Did right now? Me? Izuku Midoriya made a friend? Clenching his fist, Izuku sighed. I did normally, I could freak out talking to a girl, but I did weird. Maybe it's the whole determination thingy. That's why I am not a stuttering, rambling mess. As Izuku rushed back to his classroom after realizing he spent a little too much time, another girl heard and witnessed everything. Bravo, bravo, the quirkless boy has more empathy than these students here. Standing up for a beach like her, why would such a guy ever think about a woman's problems? But honestly, he really wasn't going for her body. Must I say this boy knows how to control those big boy hormones. Sister, are you interested in that boy? What's so special about him? Oh my gosh, the girl with pink tails and an exposed cleavage slapped her sister back. Loosen that cat up. This is probably why. From our parents I got better genetics. The girl in a smooth motion flung her hair back. Me? Interested in a guy? Unbelievable despair can wait. The sister with short hair, gray eyes and freckles much like Izuku. She glazed at the direction in which Izuku was heading back. I won't question you. Glad you asked. But the girl's back chest popped outward with such eroticness. Her foot bent slightly on a locker, with sweat dripping descending down her cleavage as her eyes began to spiral, like a woman alluring her mate. Sister, explain to me what good is thy Junko Inazuma without a boyfriend. The black-hair sister spoke. He mentioned, yes, he has a girlfriend. I am not deaf, you know. Junko gazed at her perfectly painted nails, giggling. It won't matter. I am a boy's wet dream anyway. Nobody can say no to Junko Inazuma. Nobody. So, this was the end of part 1 of this series. Stay tuned for next part of this series, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.